Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Ro, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a tutorial of how I made that 3D stacked embellishment book that I already posted on my Instagram. I will be using the ScrapDivaDesigns 3D embellishment book die set, which is available now. I will be linking it down below, and don't forget to use my code RHODA10 RHODA10 to save. So here I'm showing you the pieces that we need to cut first and mat if we're making it. And here I am showing you the complete box. Those things that I pointed on the sides, like those purple parts, they aren't included in the die set. I cut paper and scored them to make that box, to make the closure, but unfortunately it's not included in my recording. I do not know where it went, so I'm so sorry for that, but I will be adding the dimensions and the instructions for that part of the project, just so you can follow along. Okay, next up you are gonna be getting this piece right here, and we are going to make the window for our shadow box portion of our embellishment book. So what I'm doing here is that side that has the flap, that is where we are going to cut out our window. And to do that, we are just going to score 0.5 on 4 sides. I'll be showing you how it looks when I score it. Here I'm trying to figure out how to score it without scoring the whole thing, because it would leave a mark. So we are gonna score 0.5 on 4 sides, but only on, if it's possible that you can just do it on that side of the paper that will have the window. I hope that made sense, but I will show you later on. Originally, I wasn't gonna do the scoring. I was just going to use a metal die that would be enough, that would have the good measurement so I can make the window, but I couldn't find one that was close to me, so I just went and scored it. So once I'm done with the scoring, I am going to cut out my window. Again, the window is going to be on that side with that side flap. You see that smaller square? So that's where the window is going to be at. And that is how it's going to look. You are going to do the same thing for the other piece, because remember, we are making 2. And once you're done with that, you are going to cut another 2 pieces of the base, but you don't need to cover the outside. Instead, we are going to cover the inside, because that is what's going to be shown once we put these boxes together. Also, later on, when I'm putting all of these together, you will notice that there are parts where you don't really need to cover your paper, your solid cardstock, with printed paper. Also, for this project, I am using 2 different collections. So mainly the paper would be from Happy Haunts from Die Cuts with a View. And then for the embellishments, I am using the Doodlebug Sweet and Spooky collection. So right here, we are going to cover the inside of these two pieces, because again, once we put it together, you will be seeing what's inside the boxes, so you will want to cover it. Is that, and once you're done with it, I ended up like cutting extras, which we are actually going to need once we put the boxes together. So now we are going to put the boxes together, the shadow boxes. Also, a quick reminder, I always say this whenever I post videos, that whenever I'm out of frame, please do not worry. I am always, or like mostly, just gluing something, and I need to be out of frame, like right here. So just a reminder that you are not missing anything important. And then once you're done putting that box together, you will be using that piece of printed cardstock to finish covering the side of our box. So right here, that's how it looks. And you see that side on the left that does not have a printed cardstock yet, so that is where we are going to glue the remaining cardstock piece. Once you're done with this, you are going to do the same thing with the other box. And then once you're done with that, this is what we have. So the next thing we are going to need is the top cover. And since the metal die set do not have this, we are going to be making it. So to do that, we are going to be cutting a piece of paper. This is going to measure 6 3/8 by 3. So that's 6 3/8 by 3. It's a weird measurement. I'm not used to any measurements other than 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. But yeah, again, it's 6 3/8 by 3. And what we're doing here is we are gonna score 0.5 on all sides. So again, 0.5 on all sides. And then we are gonna cut our mats. So the mats, what you just need to do is just to cut it smaller I think it is going to measure like around 5.25 by 2, but you can go ahead and check it yourself. It's fairly easy. And then where we are going to glue these two pieces of cardstock on, that would be the inside roof of our boxes. So now let's put our paper trimmer to the side. I am going to fold all our score marks, and then we are going to glue our printed cardstock before we close off our shadow boxes. So here I'm just gluing it on. Again, the side with those printed cardstock, that will be the inside. So that's going to be the roof. So we do not need to cover the other side because we won't be seeing it anyway. So there's that. Next we are just going to make a few snips so we can put everything together. That's going to go right here like that. Okay, so here I'm showing you the snips, not the snaps, the snips that we are going to be doing to put these pieces onto our shadow box. We'll do the same for the other piece. And then all we need to do is just put glue on those flaps and then glue it onto the top of those shadow boxes just to close it off. If it's easier for you to embellish before closing it off, you could go ahead and do that. But I went and embellished the inside after I closed it off. Here you can see that one long side of our flaps, I cut it a little bit just to make sure that it won't show on the window of our box. Because sometimes whenever I measure, like my measuring is off, so I am going to play safe and just cut a little bit of that flap just so you won't see it on the window. And then here we are going to close it off. Again, if it's easier to you to embellish the inside of our shadow box with an open roof, like if you want to embellish it, if it's easier for you to embellish it while it's open, you can go ahead, do that before closing off our shadow box. But it wasn't that hard for me, so I went ahead and closed it off, and I will be embellishing it later. And since the sides won't be seen, I went ahead and just glued those flaps on the outside. I know you can see that there's a printed paper on the side of that box, but again, you won't see it, so I went ahead and glued it that way since it's easier to glue it outside than on the inside. Plus, on the inside, we do have that printed paper, and we want to keep it as clean as possible. Once you're done with this one, you will do the same thing for the other one. So there's that. It's all fully covered, and then next thing we are going to do is we are going to put this inside our box. You will see here that there will be a space in between those two boxes because the book is actually bigger than those two boxes combined, like put next to each other, like on top of each other. So we are going to fix that later on once we are decorating our embellishment book. Next, let us glue this and secure the two shadow boxes on our embellishment book. So we are gonna put glue on the top, on the right side, and on the back of this shadow box, just to make sure that it is going to be secure. It's glued really well onto our book and it's not going to fall off. You will also want to make sure that once you're gluing it, that you are going to press it onto the corners. So it's going to be on the top and right side of our book. And then for the other one, you will want to glue it on the bottom and on the right side and on the back. So once you put those shadow boxes inside, both of them, there will be a space on the middle in between those boxes, and we are just going to cover it with embellishments. We will end up having a space on the left side of that book. You will see it right here. You see there that there's a space. You can cover it if you want with the embellishments, but I just left it. So again, for the bottom shadow box, we are going to put glue on the bottom, right, and the back sides. And then once we push it in our book, we are going to glue it like that. So there will be that little space in the middle in between our two shadow boxes. And again, we are just going to cover that later on with some decorations. So this is how it looks, guys, and now we are going to decorate this. Now to decorate this, I am going to fast forward the video even more because I do not want you to sit through minutes and minutes of just watching me embellishing the shadow boxes. So I will just fast forward it and I will be right back to show you the next step. And we are back. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to glue the two books together. You have to make sure that the openings for both books will be on the outside part. And then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to tie a ribbon around the two books. So that will be our closure. And then up next is we are going to cover the ribbon with layers of paper, and that will be enough to secure the ribbon and to keep it in place. So here I am cutting printed paper that is slightly a bit smaller than our mat, the cover, the printed cardstock that you can see here on the cover of our books. And then here I am adding foam tape because we do want dimensions. We love dimensions whenever we're doing 3D projects. So just adding foam tape, and then we are gonna stick that here on top. And I said to cut it a little smaller just so you can see the back piece peeking out a little bit. Oh, here you can see it better when I said that once you glue the two books together, you have to make sure that the openings of the books will be on the outside. So that is how it's going to look. So here I'm just making sure that those layers that we just added are stuck really well onto our embellishment book, because we are going to be using that the ribbon, we are going to be moving it around, so we want to make sure that those paper layers are glued onto our embellishment book really well, because I am not adding any hot glue. So here, this is going to be the spine of our book, and that is the one with the scallop edges, which is from the die set. I added foam tape, and then we are gonna stick that onto our spine. When picking out papers, it would be best if you use different patterns, just so it's much clearer that we have two books, that we have like two stacked books and not just one book. Next, we are going to need the much smaller piece for the spine. And what I did here is I just added ephemera from the Sweet and Spooky collection from Doodlebug. And then here I'm going to pick a few flat backs to add to our spine. But I'm not gonna glue it yet. I will wait later on once I'm done sticking those cardstock on to our spine. That is when I am gonna go ahead and glue those flat backs. So here we are adding foam tape again, just to add layers. And then we are gonna stick those on top of our scalloped edge die cut that we already put on our spine. There's that. And then once I'm done sticking those two pieces, that is when I am going to glue, using hot glue, those two pieces of flat backs. And then we are almost done. We just need some decorating, because we do need to decorate the front cover of our stacked embellishment book. For that, again, I am going to fast forward the video so you don't have to, again, wait until I finish the whole thing, because it's gonna take a little while. And that is it, you guys. We are done. Oh, you might have noticed that I used other ScrapDivaDesigns metal dies to embellish our cover. So I will be adding the links down below so you could check it out as well. So here is the finished look of our stacked embellishment book, and that is the front. And for the back, we are leaving it empty just so you can add the goodies right there and send for Happy Mail. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!